When you're born in this world, there is no mind. The mind is that part of consciousness which consists of notions. The minute you have a thought, and then another thought, and another thought, and these combine to form notions or concepts, the mind is given birth to. So it begins all with a blank screen. There is nothing. When you're at the level of the heart, level of the self, level of the source, it is all pure. It is pure consciousness. It is deeply connected. It is a point of life where you are completely Godified. However, thoughts arise. You can't help it. That's part of being born on this earth. And as thoughts rise and they keep forming ideas, beliefs, notions, they develop into fears and anxieties and the rest of it. And the rest is really history. This mind which actually doesn't exist, it has no real existence. If you inquire into its existence, you will find that you can't find its origin. You can't find its basis. You don't know what it is really made up of, except a collection of thoughts. So if you technically had zero thoughts, there is zero mind, right? So it doesn't. So we are fearful and we are controlled by a mind that isn't even real, that has no basis for reality. Yet, it is the only reality we know. Because everything that is seen through a filter of the mind makes you the subject and makes something else the object. Even God, when seen through the mind, and I don't know why I'm pointing here, it's not here, it's kind of everywhere. When you see God through the mind, it objectifies it and makes it almost laughable, a joke. Because the supreme, the divine consciousness cannot be described using concepts or notions or just five senses. It's too narrow a description. But still, we rely on our mind for everything. For everything. All our, the thoughts that have come up, that we slowly begin to condition ourselves into. That I need to mix with people of my own community. Cockroaches are very scary creatures. Lizards should never be in the house. People, immigration is bad, or whatever concepts you've developed, conditioning you've developed. Be careful of people with dark hair. We have all kinds of crazy concepts in our head, things that we're frightened of. People with religious affiliations, oh, stay away from this, stay away from that. Thoughts have piled up over thoughts, and everything. We've intellectualized a lot of things. There's the mind, there's the intellect, and there's the ego. And it's the interplay of these three that life happens. Your mind, your intellect, and your ego. And in all of this, the self is completely lost. The source is completely lost. You believe that the solutions you seek are out there in the world. But you cannot treat a problem or solve a problem with the mind alone. Most solutions will never come when the mind is overcrowded with thoughts. One thought after another, one thought after another, one thought. It's only in moments of quiet when you have, a break in your thoughts. So people, when they're working at the computer or they're working very hard, they always stop to take a coffee break or do something different. Because you can't keep going. You simply cannot keep going and be creative. Because creativity doesn't come from the mind. It comes from the heart. It comes from the source. The answers that you seek will not come no matter how much you try to intellectualize. Sometimes the best answer is, I have complete faith that everything is going to become okay. I know that change is inevitable. It's going to happen. These things that I keep telling you, which have no real basis, no scientific basis, but which always in the long run prove to be true. They are axioms that come from the heart. Things that our sages have told us again and again and again. Because faith and belief, they do not have any scientific or intellectual backing. But that is what works. We read a story from Osho's book where he talks about how people lose that spiritual connection. And he was telling us a story of a spider that lived in a barn. Okay. The upper portion of the barn was in complete darkness. And it lived right at the top of the barn. And it was very comfortable living there for the longest time. Right? Comfortable in the darkness, very happy, very much at peace, wanted nothing, needed nothing more. But then one day it decided that the lower rafters look really interesting. And it used a very strong thread to come all the way down to the lower rafters. And then, when it was in the lower rafters, it decided to build a home there. And it built this magnificent web, really complicated, beautiful connected web. And everybody, all the other spiders admired its web and said, what a beautiful web you have. And then one day, the spider was sitting there and looking up at that single strand going up into the darkness. And it said, I don't really need that anymore. I'm quite happy here. And it broke that string. And as that string broke, the entire web collapsed. So what I'm trying to tell you with this story is that there is this spiritual connection to the divine, to God, to universal consciousness, to the Brahman. And what we do by coming into this world and living in this world through our senses, we cut that connection, we sever that connection. And then wonder why we can't find the solutions to our happiness. We have to keep that connection alive all the time. To get back to that source. If you sever the connection, it all collapses. The answers are never correct. You can never treat mental illness with thought. You can't tell an addict, an alcohol addict, no, give up drinking, it's bad for you. It won't make sense. It just won't make sense. You can't tell people that, you're bipolar now. Don't be bipolar now. Every time you feel that you're getting excited, calm down. Intellectually it doesn't work. It's only when they descend to the level of the heart that solutions arise. The best cure for depression is getting out of satisfying oneself and moving into satisfying the world. So what about me changes to what can I do for you? That is the level of the heart. What can I do for this world? How can I help you? In what way can I be useful to mankind? How can my day be productive in that it includes everybody? The Brahman Supreme Consciousness is all-inclusive. That is the level of the heart. The level of the mind is take care of yourself. Your stuff comes first. We had a party a few days ago and there was a lot of leftovers and I asked people to take it. And in all of that, I forgot to pack for myself because I had not tasted what I served. I gave it all away.
Quite upsetting.
I gave it all away. And everyone was saying, you gave everything away. And I'm like, that's okay, they're enjoying it, you know. I made a mistake. I don't feel bad that I didn't think about myself. At that moment, I was just thinking that food should not be wasted. Right? So sometimes it extends, you know, to a lot of things in yourself when you start training yourself to say, how can my life be about serving others? When you have a problem in life, when you have things that are not going well, and you can't find the answers, you know, a job has become extremely stressful. Your supervisor is constantly hauling you up. Nothing is working there and you want to change your job, but you need the medical. You have all those reasons. The correct answer will come. I'm not saying give up the job and do it. It may be one solution is not right for each one of us. But if you want to find the answer, you have to quieten the highway of noise. You have to stop listening to people's advice and get into yourself, into that period of silence. And one touch to the source, just a little touch is enough for that transformation to take place, for that idea to come, for things to work out. You become extremely creative and you become extremely connected to the divine. That is what I mean when I say you need to be Godified. You need to have that connection to the divine so strong so that the house holds up. Everything holds up, because that is what is holding everything up. It's all a delusion. It's all nothing. All that you see is nothing. It's all energy. It's all matter. It's only our mind and our thoughts and our notions that call this a sofa and call this a person and call that a man and call this a woman. Give it labels and give it names. Ultimately, everything is just consciousness, just energy, just matter. That's all there is. But we think that this world is everything. We chase after the success, we chase after happiness, we chase after, fame. And when we can't get it, we can't get what we think we deserve, we get tremendously disappointed. We can't find answers to anything. Sometimes the answer doesn't lie in changing anything other than your own attitude and your mindset. The circumstances can remain the same, but a personal transformation, a movement from the head to the heart, manaha, namaha, we call that the transformation, can make all the difference. The mother-in-law can be as abusive, but your reaction to her changes and your life changes. You can be as poor as possible, but your attitude to what makes you happy, you decide that A smile is going to satisfy my hunger. And you stop hankering after wealth. And you fill your life with such positivity and such positive affirmations that abundance just flows in. Abundance is yours. That beautiful web is yours. Only if you keep that connection. You always think, when you look at all these celebrities, that they have such great lives. Such fantastic lives. And then we are shocked. I was reading something on Facebook about 50 young celebrities that died before making it big or whatever. They're young children between the ages of 15 and 25. And all of them have got one great success in a very good movie and then succumbed to drugs. About 9 out of 10, it's a drug-related death or a suicide. And I was really sad to see that. What is so bad in this life that you can't face it? We have gurus, we have masters, we have all these people. For what? Not to have a crutch you can hold on to, but to just give you some tools that you can use to make this world a better place, to just change your attitude, to change your perspective, to change your energy. Then everything can be fabulous. It really is so easy. It really is so easy. It is all a question of going from the head down to the heart. And that's where all the solutions can be found. Everything will ease out. Your life will become effortless, easy. You begin each day by taking that happiness decision. And I'll keep saying it till kingdom come. You take that decision, you wake up in the morning and say, today I will be happy. Happiness is my birthright. I will be happy today and every day. And I will not allow any person, any event, any situation to deny me my birthright. I will be happy.